And now enjoy this free Jason Modcast show.
The world of myth bits.
And welcome to this week's edition of the World of Myth Bits podcast. I am your host, Mike Lutz. I am joined by my lovely co-host,
Stephanie Barty.
And this is the Member of the Month edition. So we have Are you going to make it?
Good. Carry on.
Okay. I'm just wondering if you're going to be all right? All right.
No, but carry on.
All right. It's going to be one of those shows, everybody, so strap in.
Yep. Canadians are invading.
Yeah, so we're talking with Member of the Month for issue number 64, Lallie Napier. Hello, Lallie.
Hey, Lallie!
Thank you so much. I was so excited when Stephanie introduced me to the World of Myth magazine, because it just seemed like a good fit with all of the writing that I do, because some of the things I do are a little bit obscure, a little strange, and it's difficult to find places that will actually publish a lot of my work. So thank you guys for taking the time to read my poetry and hopefully my short story, because I'm plugging that while I'm here. No, it's been a really wonderful thing. It's been an extremely positive experience, and just thank you. And thank you for having me on the show. I'll try to behave myself, but no promises.
No.
Oh, no,
don't. No behavement. Just be
behavement.
You. Behavement.
He makes up words.
Oh, that's gonna hurt. Seriously, I'm a bloody author, and you're inventing words as we go.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, it's not going to get edited or anything like that. So everything is going to be on the fly, and we're just going to have a good conversation tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
Yes,
so,
it is.
Shattered Ice. Tell us about it. I want to know about it.
Okay, well, Shattered Ice is a poem I wrote several years ago. I had this really vivid imagining while I was sitting waiting in my dentist's office of all the places. And it was just, it was putting a physical process on the human heart being ready to love again. Because once you've been in love, then the love dies, goes away, whatever words you want to use, and your heart is like frozen. And I put a guy inside a human heart, and it was frozen. And then he came around to the thawing of the heart, and he represented whatever was stopping you from loving again. So he was your sorrow, your attachment to your ex, your depression, your unworthiness, whatever it was that was making you feel unworthy of love. That was him. So that's why he had to die. Because that piece had to die in order for the heart to grow warm and want to love again. So that's it. That's the whole thing. So there you have it. How's that for some serious deep thought by Lallie Napier? Thank you very much.
So,
I don't do anything small. I don't. I do everything with passion and full force, and I love to be able to put people into a place where they can imagine things they would never imagine, see the visuals that come up in my head. I'm a very visual person, and thankfully I was blessed with this gift of gab and language that made it possible for me to translate those visuals into descriptions so other people will know what the hell is going on in my noggin.
Now, is writing your only artistic outlet?
Well, I do write a lot. I was an oil painter for a long period of time. I sketch, I draw, all kinds of bits and pieces. I know nobody can see this, but Mike and Steph can see this painting behind my head.
Ooh!
I can't see
I
it.
I love that.
Can't see that?
Goddess.
Yeah, well, it's the feminine. It's the feminine form, and I Yeah, I painted that one. I painted this huge, epic painting for my ex-husband that is the fight scene that's about to take place when everybody comes out of hyperspace at Endor. Star Wars.
Ah, yes.
Yes, I have painted the original Star Trek Enterprise, because woot! I'm a Trekkie.
Sounds like a geek after my own heart right here.
Oh, I'm such a nerd.
I don't know if we can be friends. I'm Star Wars all the way. You can't be both.
Somebody has to carry the crap for the rest of us, Steph, so thanks for volunteering.
You're welcome.
Aren't you happy you had me on the show?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yep.
If nothing else, we'll laugh our balls off. This is going to be fun.
Absolutely.
And considering Mike's the only one that's got balls, we're good.
Hey, we got lady balls.
Well, that's true.
We have to carry them on our chest because they're bigger.
So when you're not writing, what do you do?
When I'm not writing, I'm a mother of 3 beautiful children. They are 6, 11, and 18. The 2 older ones are my boys, and they are both autistic. So challenging. It takes some time. But because of them, I am afforded the ability to have time to write, so that when they are at school or when they are doing things, when they are at peace, I can write as much as I want, which is wonderful. I also have a little girl who's turning 7 at the end of this month. And she's magnificent, but she's completely normal, so I don't know how to parent her. And I kind of have to make it up as I go. But see, I don't know what it is to be around or be a normal young lady, a normal girl, because I was born bipolar. And I wasn't diagnosed until I was 34 years old. Ooh. I am now turning 40 at the end of this year, good God. And in the past 5 years, since my diagnosis, I got the right balance of medication and meditation, psychiatry, all those things in place, a great care team. I have a huge team of people that take care of me. They are incredible. Oh my gosh, so much love. But yeah, in the past 5 years, I've managed to graduate high school and write and publish my first novel.
Oh, which is an awesome book, by the way.
You read it?
I did. I did. I'm writing my review.
What is the title of the novel, by the way?
The novel is called The Name of Your Mother, and it's sort of it's a mishmash of a couple of different genres. Why don't we listen to Stephanie to see what her take is on how my book is awesome?
Freaking hilarious. Even the parts that aren't supposed to be funny, the way that Lallie has worded things, like I can't remember the exact wording, but you read the piece at your book signing, your book launch that I was at, about the bowels.
Oh yes.
And how you worded that. And it wasn't meant to be a funny part.
It wasn't meant to be a funny moment, that's true. There was a gentleman who was having a massive anxiety attack fainting spell thing. He was physically shutting down. And I wrote something like his bowels were threatening independence with every step. Which, yes, is absolutely hilarious, but this guy is in serious medical danger. He's in trouble, and he's trying to get where he needs to go to find help. Yeah, but yes, his bowels were threatening independence. That's the line.
Yes, that's it. That's it. And I did. I laughed out loud. I'm like right there like this going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
So where can people purchase this book?
Well, you can get a physical copy from Georgian Bay Books in Midland, Ontario. I'm doing a whole bunch of library events in the Simcoe County area, so there's a lot of different events going on. You can follow me on Facebook. I'm at Lallie Napier. Holy crap, I can't even say my own name. Oh my gosh. And to finish what I was telling you, Mike, before we turned on the recorder, Napier is actually my middle name, so it's not a name I don't say a lot.
Oh,
it's my middle name, for crying out loud. So anyways, yeah, if you just follow me there, also, my book is available on Amazon in 13 countries.
Nice.
So, yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Done.
Yeah, I'm trying to sell 400 copies so that I can use it as proof of skill to get Ontario art grants.
Oh, nice.
And I'm about 150 copies shy. So let's go, people. We got until December.
I think we have about 50 listeners, so everybody go buy 3. Go buy 3.
Well, yeah. It's not super expensive. It's an ebook, for crying out loud. So you're not paying for a physical thing. You're paying for a file. And there's a picture of me on the cover, which is very pretty.
It is very pretty in a lovely, lovely red dress.
Mm-hmm. That's actually my wedding gown from my second marriage.
Well, you put it to good use.
Yes. It's now the cover of my book. And the angle of the shot is taken from above me, so I have much to give, and the cups runneth over.
Mike, hang on. I got to go get it. Mike's got to see it.
I have a copy in my drawer, but apparently he can't see me. So.
No. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
You are wearing that dress.
Okay, there we go. Better light.
Not teasing.
Back further.
There you go.
And my copy? I won't show you the dog-eared pages. I'm sorry.
Oh, you just ripped that page. You just ripped that page.
No, I did not. It's autographed.
For Stephanie, love and light, Lallie Napier.
Ah.
Woohoo!
But yeah, no, I fall down my corners. I love my books.
Yes, books are supposed to be lived in.
They have cracked spines and
we can't be friends anymore. You crack a spine?
Oh, you've known me way too long to say that.
Oh,
sorry.
No, I never knew this about you, and this jeopardizes everything. Oh, you animal.
Books and bodies have the same thing in common. They are both lived in.
Yeah, but if you crack a spine on a body, that's bad.
Mm-hmm. I do that all the time. I just got to twist hard enough.
I don't actually crack the spine. Like, I don't, but it does get those white, nice, lovely, well-read.
That's love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well-read. But did you see how quickly I could go and get that? Because it was like right there.
Actually, I'm now finished the first draft of my next novel.
Oh, nice.
So it's done. Yes, I'm just letting it sit and percolate, and then I got to edit the crap out of it in another month and a half. So for now, I'm writing more poetry and doing things like that, and trying to keep my sanity because I want my book.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yes,
because Steph's driving me crazy wanting her book too. So,
well, It's
an author thing.
Well, okay, I totally get that it's an author thing. And I said, Steph's been driving me nuts with her contribution to the magazine for this month. And she sent me her contribution. And everything, every day, she goes, have you read it? Have you read it? Have you read it? And I'm like, no. They say, the last one I said, I never learned how to read, so I don't know why you...
Yeah, see, he's too distracted. He's too distracted by how excellent my short story is. So...
All right, come on.
I haven't had any feedback about the short story yet.
I haven't gotten anything either, so we don't get anything.
No.
This is a no news is good news type deal.
Yeah.
So...
Well, actually, I did get one thing... a possible word change because there was a misinterpretation of the definition of the word.
And we know what the word is?
Well, the original word was fletching.
Uh-huh.
Which is what, Lallie?
No,
what do you think that
fletching is the feathers on arrows.
Yes, it is.
That's commonly known as fletching. Well,
what I meant it as in the story.
Yeah. Our dear publisher, David K. Montoya.
That's going to kill us.
I don't
Throw
care.
him under the bus. throw him.
Absolutely.
We do often.
Yeah. So Dave is going over the story as he's coding it for the magazine, and he goes, "Oh!" He comes across fletching, and we're in a group chat, the three of us, and Dave goes, "Yeah, Steph, I have to change that one word," and we're like, "What word?" And he goes, "That word fletching, it's a very bad word." He thought it was felching.
Oh, yeah, that's a very word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
very different from fletching.
Yeah.
Very, very different. So there was an Urban Dictionary screenshot.
If I was writing for the Erotica magazine, then it would have fit perfectly and been fine.
No, but it was fine where it was, and it wasn't what he thought it was. And
nope, he misread it.
Yeah, and the Urban Dictionary screenshot was just the icing on the cake as far as I'm concerned about this conversation.
Oh, yeah.
So,
see, now I'm worried because my short story has a lot of swearing in it.
Oh, that's...
Oh, no, you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
Not that I know those bad words, Mom, who might be listening to this in the future.
It's all right. I know the editor, so...
It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, where do you think I learned all the 4-letter words?
My mom used to have fuck it Friday. She would not swear all week. She ran a daycare, so she wouldn't swear all week. And as soon as that last child went out the door Friday at 5 o'clock, she'd close the door, lean back, and go, fuck! It's fucking Friday!
I have done something similar to that when my children all leave the house. When I'm actually all alone in the house with nobody else around, I will scream expletives until my ears fall off. It's fantastic. And then I have to sew them back on, and then there's more swearing, because ow.
It is very cathartic. I work in a factory, and cussing is an art form. So if you can cuss well, you move up in rank where I work.
Yeah. I like to say I swear like a well-educated sailor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
I swear like a lady. I enunciate all my C's and K's. Thank you.
I like that one too. I have been known to enunciate from time to time.
Every fucking word.
Wow. Wow.
Sorry.
Need another.
I told you earlier, Mike, I was totally going off script. Like, totally
you have a script?
We were given a script.
Yeah. And if we used it, we would have been done about 20 minutes ago.
No, okay, we've only started, and it's only 17 minutes in.
Oh, so we would have been done 7 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Or less.
Yeah. Dave's...
You're doing that on purpose every time I pick up my drink.
Yeah.
I know, I'm watching.
Yeah. Dave sent us a script. He goes, here's an idea. And I
Arizona
promptly threw the script away. So
I love that sound.
Did
you hear that?
Yes.
Oh, you could hear me pouring my drink, really?
Yes.
Wow, my mic is awesome. This is my MP3 headphones. I got them for like $10 on Amazon, but dang.
I'm using my new Apple iPhone headphones with my new Apple phone.
Yay.
There was something about a script.
Yeah, Dave sent us a script that he wanted us to use for when we do these interviews. And I promptly threw mine away, and Stephanie memorized hers and was wanted to do them verbatim. Ask the questions verbatim.
Well, because I was told, I had to be bubbly. I was having a problem this.
I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
You did.
And it's on record.
Yes!
Not a bubbly person. And B, there were certain, it was supposed to be serious and professional and blah, blah, blah. And,
which is...
Dude, yeah. I'm sitting on SpongeBob's face, and you're lucky I'm...
Yeah, we pretty much...
Lallie doesn't do serious. Not so much. I would rather do real. You know, you want to know about me, ask me questions, and I will answer them about me. If you want to know about my writing, happy to talk about it, no problem whatsoever. You want to talk about my life, mental illness, I'm a mental health advocate in my spare time. I'm going back to school very soon to start pursuing just certificates in mostly victimology, because I want to help other people who have been through some of the things I've been through. I was roofied and raped in a bar when I was 18. So that's something that only just came out in my therapy, working through things with my psychiatrist in the past 5 years. As I said, I've been bipolar a very long time, so I have experienced a whole world of horse shit. And just life, you know, just life. But it was trying to change that mentality of I'm a victim. And that took a long time, and it's taken a lot of effort. 5 years ago, I had no confidence. I was extremely paranoid. I wouldn't leave my house unless I absolutely had to. Even when I did leave my house, I was horribly uncomfortable the entire time. My social anxiety was through the roof. A podcast? Are you kidding? Hell no. None of what you see of me now as a confident, intelligent person who can speak clearly and concisely about the experiences she's had, none of that existed. I wasn't there. This kind of conversation would never have happened 5 years ago. So this is why I'm so grateful to my mental health team, and I advocate for other people. I'm talking to a guy right now who's having trouble with his ex-partner, and he's on the other side of the world. And he connected with me through my sister who lives on the other side of the world. So, yeah, you know, just I connect with people in the strangest ways. But I'm able to give them a little bit of hope, maybe a little advice, a place to start. A lot of people just don't have that first step. For me, it was very nearly, I was right on the verge of self-harm. I was holding a knife in my hand and I was cutting up vegetables for dinner, and I almost put the knife right through my forearm because my brain was telling me that was joyous and wonderful and would feel so good. And thankfully, rationale kicked in, and I called my family doctor immediately and said, I just had this huge compulsion to hurt myself. Came completely out of nowhere. I was having a good day. I was happy, and I was having a good day. My kids were at school. My husband at the time was at work, and my little girl was like 16 months old, maybe a year old. She was walking, but not doing a lot of talking yet. And she was just in the other room prattling and playing and having a good time. And yeah, I almost stuck a knife right through my arm. This is not the type of conversation normal society people have. I want to make these conversations more normal, more commonplace. If you talk, people need to know what's going on in your head. If there's something not right, and you know deep down there's something different about you, not right, causing you harm, causing you problems, you need to open your mouth and speak about it, because nobody has any idea what's going on behind the curtain. You know? They don't know what's in your brain.
The stigma needs to be removed. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's not something to hide and, you know, stiff upper lip, you'll get through it. Just ignore it. It'll go away. Because it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't go away.
No. Actually,
it hangs around.
It gets heavier, and it gets harsher, and it gets nastier.
Oh.
One of the other things I have experienced was for 6 years I was married to a very abusive man. And just in the past 2 years or so, the son I have with him, we discovered he was autistic with social anxiety disorder. That means there's a good chance that a lot of the abuse I suffered at the hands of his father was brought on by autistic rage, not cruelty. So having a different ignition, you know, it really does change the whole outlook on the actions themselves. And that's something I was just coming to terms with when I had my my first live event, when I really got to know Stephanie a little bit.
Yeah, we bonded over our crazy.
Yes, we did. It's a special kind of crazy.
My crazy recognizes your crazy? Or...
Yes, and loves your crazy. My crazy is purple and has sparkles. Oh, my
Mine's purple.
It's awesome.
Mine's got black.
I'm a Sagittarius, and power color for Sagittarians is purple.
Oh, I'm an Aquarius. I think mine's yellow.
That's a pretty color.
Yeah, like pea.
I was thinking like jaundice myself, but
yeah. See?
Like SpongeBob. Come on, I'm sitting on the SpongeBob.
All right, like SpongeBob. Oh. We're killing Mike.
I don't know. I'm good.
He's enjoying it.
Are you drinking whiskey tonight, Mike?
I am drinking Jack and Coke. I'm good.
Oh, Jack and Coke. Oh, last night was whiskey.
Yeah.
Whiskey Wednesday.
Oh, no. Jack Daniels is still whiskey, so.
Well, that's true.
Yes.
That's true.
Technically.
I don't drink. I have water. I can't
it's
say
vodka.
I don't drink.
It's vodka.
I can't say I don't drink. I went to the Meridian Women in Excellence. Food was good.
There was an award ceremony taking place for local business women in the Greater Midland and surrounding area, and they got together and totally had a chick love fest.
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw some of the
pictures. I had 3 glasses of wine. I had 3 glasses of wine, and then promptly came home and realized typing was difficult. So I was talking to Mike and Dave in our Facebook group chat and decided I would just use the video feature and was sending them, with the filters. So I was doing the Alien and I was doing the Blues Brothers. Yeah, I decided I'm going to do a whole...
At least she decided to use the filters instead of her motor skills to remove her clothing. Hey, bipolar chicks are the kookiest, man. We do all kinds of weird shit that nobody would really think to do. Like this morning, I sent a text message to a guy that lives nearby me, and I said, hey, do you want to squeeze my tomatoes? I grow tomatoes in my front garden. He's a cook. I did send him a second message 10 minutes later, mind you, saying, not a euphemism. What I got back was some strange He-Man restrained GIF, or GIF, how do you say that?
GIF.
GIF. Back in the day, wasn't it a GIF?
No.
Okay.
Graphic interface.
Okay. One of them little thingamajobbers, and it was He-Man, and he was restrained, and I'm like, okay, but what does that have to do with squeezing or not squeezing my tomatoes? I don't understand.
He was holding back on either making a really inappropriate comment or running down there to squeeze your tomatoes.
Agreed. Yeah. That makes the most sense.
It's Midland, come on.
There's slim pickings here, I know. It's awful.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Especially for me. I mean, I'm a single mom of 3 kids, but I live in the same house as my ex-husband because we have kids together who have special needs. So
I am listening. I just smell something weird.
Define.
Like burning. Like burning.
Like burning? Do we need to pause for you to go check this burning?
No. You're not plugged in. I can take you with me.
Oh,
Carry
okay.
on.
Okay.
I can multitask.
Go search for the fire on this podcast.
Question. Have another question. Okay, I only smell it in the living room. I'm confused. I don't know.
Great, we get a...
What are you eating now? What are you eating? Oh, you little shithead.
She smacks her cats. Not a euphemism.
No. I figured out what it was. My cat had gotten up on the counter and was eating the leftover chicken from dinner. So that's why I could I smelled dinner, which is really sad. Don't tell Phil I smelled burning, and it was actually dinner.
Was it burnt toast?
No, I'm not twitching yet. I took my drugs today.
Good girl. So did I.
No twitching.
This is us medicated. Oh, dear God.
I know.
Can you imagine us not medicated?
That would make for an amazing podcast.
It would be something.
Best show ever.
Be careful. They have a way of roping you into doing podcasts.
I have no problem doing podcasts. Are you kidding me? I'm having tons of fun. It's after dark, and I'm talking to people that can put together a sentence, and it doesn't start with mom.
Mom,
you don't understand how much I need this, guys.
Oh, I get it. My youngest is 17, so I'm enjoying.
My youngest is turning 7 in a week.
You still have teenage girl years coming. I'm so sorry. You'll know
we'll
where
figure
I am.
it out. That's all good. Okay. So was there a question?
Yes, there was actually.
Okay.
See, I'm going back to the script.
Ooh, the almighty script.
Yes. Dave is smiling. He has no understanding as to why he's smiling right now, but
he just feels all warm and fuzzy in the nether regions.
The power of the script compels you.
I didn't turn off the notifications on my phone because we kind of decided to use it at the last minute. Well, so every now and again, I'm getting messages from Dave popping down. I'm like, Dave, we're podcasting. Piss off, dude. We're busy. Okay, so to make Dave happy, have you enjoyed publications elsewhere, or is posting your story in the world of myth a first for you, other than your book? Because we've already covered your book, so we know you got published there.
Well, that was self-publishing, so that was with the help of a spectacular patron. I call her Mom.
Aren't they wonderful?
Oh, they're great. Absolutely freaking wonderful. She's just a wonderful supporter of the arts. They work very closely with Theatre Orangeville, and they're supporting a couple of other authors and things. So I'm just another client, as far as my parents are concerned. I just happen to be one with some DNA in common. As far as publishing, though, no, I haven't. I haven't had my poetry accepted by pretty much anyone else. Anywhere I've tried to publish anything, nobody likes me.
Well, I hate to tell you, but there was quite a few people that liked you. That's why you're a member of the month.
I saw that. I'm absolutely blown away. I didn't know my mother could vote that often.
Well,
I voted.
I'm just going to say get ready for the avalanche again, because I decided to put 2 of your poems into this month's edition. 2? Yeah.
Both of the other ones?
Yes.
Holy crap! Thank you, Mike! That's awesome! Yes!
Yep. I'm doing that because
I wish people could see the dimples. Yeah. I really do.
I'm doing that.
They can see them on my book cover.
Wrong dimples.
My picture's on the back.
Oh yeah,
I got a headshot on the back. Come on, guys.
Right.
Not those dimples.
Nope. There you go. Now, before you sing my praises, do know that I'm doing that because I lost your short story. I can't find it in my files. I know, I'm so bad. I'm a terrible editor.
I'm shocked.
Me too.
I'm shocked.
I looked everywhere for it.
Did you check your spam folder?
I'm gonna have to again.
And your deleted files?
No.
Check your trash.
I'm going to have to. Yeah.
It's called True North. It's got to be in there somewhere.
It's got to be in there somewhere, but
you could send it again.
That would probably
potentially do that.
If you could do that again.
Me a sec.
Yeah, I can get that in tomorrow.
The next one after would be okay.
Okay.
Like, you're doing 2 of my poems in the next one, so let's hit them with a short story after more poetry. I love poetry. It's good poetry.
See there. Now you don't have to worry about writing anything for the next one.
Bullshit.
Exactly.
You start writing there, Steph.
Yeah, get on
it. Okay, you're committed.
I want you to write that. I want you to write that. Write what you just said, Stephanie. You win a freaking Pulitzer if you can pull that shit off.
Okay, she's already committed on another podcast. She has already stated that she will write a short story and a poem for each month's edition. And she knows she said that.
I did, which is kind of why I left the short story that I submitted for this month, that's coming out on Monday, open.
Okay.
See, it started with Coward, and then there was Hero, and now there's this one, and I left it open for more, in case I'm stuck, in case I can't come up with something new.
Yeah.
I have half a Lallie.
It's okay, I'm still here.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds
so
like
I'm just...
It sounds like
trying
a sad
to...
child.
No,
I have half a Lallie left.
It's pronounced Lallie, for crying out loud. Hey, people.
Lallie.
Think of, like, okay, my name is Alexandra. When I was a little person, I couldn't say Alexandra when I was 2-3 years old, so Lallie came out instead. People tried to correct me to get me to say Allie, thinking that was going to be my name. And I would say, no, Lallie.
All right.
That's so
my
cute.
name, fucker. That was my impression of 3-year-old me. How'd you like it? Accuracy.
Well spoken. Oh, yes. And pronunciation. Well enunciated for a 3-year-old.
I do enunciate. I can't help it. See, my mother came over from Scotland when she was 21. And she raised me and my 3 sisters on a 25-acre farm. And the only exposure we had to other people was pretty much at school, and that's about it. And my grandmother, who came over from Scotland in 1963? No, my mother came over in 63. My grandmother came over in 73. So, yeah, I had these 2 spectacular Scottish women teaching me the English language. This is why my turn of phrase is as it is. This is why I enunciate. This is why my love of language exists. Eons of playing drunken Scrabble with my grandmother. I think my favorite word ever was I corned you. To this day, I don't know what the hell that means, but God, it got me a lot of points. My father's an accountant, and my mother is a lover of all things English. So I have English language shoved in this ear, and I have math shoved in that ear. Right ear and left ear, respectively, for those who can't see all of the gesticulation. I talk with my hands. Okay? I do it. I can't help it.
So, being raised in a Scottish household, did they speak Gaelic?
I only know one swear word.
Oh, crap.
They did not speak Gaelic. I was not taught Gaelic, unfortunately. My mother did know a bit of German and some French because of traveling when she was younger. And yeah, my grandmother, I loved my grandmother to pieces. Her name was Doris. Yeah, there's Stephanie's face. Yup. Yes, Doris. After the main character in my book, The Name of Your Mother. I make that name beautiful again because my grandmother hated having the name Doris. Hated it. Her middle name was Margaret. Doris Margaret. Oh, main character. There it is. Yep. Anyways, so yeah, she drank a lot of rye. I love my granny for that part. She was great. I totally lost where I was going with that. Can you tell?
Well, as an aside, my grandmother's name was Doris as well.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And
I like the name. It's a good classic name.
Yeah, and she forbade any of my aunts and uncles to name any of their children Doris.
Now, you see, my grandmother is Lillian. Lillian Jean. Very English name. Lillian Jean. She hates Lillian. So everybody calls her Jean.
Sure.
I was named after my grandmother.
Lupa?
Guess which name No, you twit. Guess which name I didn't get.
Jean.
No, I got that one.
Okay.
I didn't get the Lillian.
I think Lillian is lovely.
Oh, well, she's 81 now, or 91 now, and she has full-on Alzheimer's. But let me tell you, when they send a new nurse, because she has nurses that come every day, they send a new nurse and they don't prep the new nurse, and the new nurse comes in and says, "Good morning, Lillian." Let me tell you, she can't remember if she's just had breakfast or not, but she will correct that nurse. My name is Jean, not Lillian. My name is Jean.
I love that.
Lady, you put your bra on over top of your pajamas and said you went for a walk. How can you remember what your name is? But she does.
Priorities.
It's Jean.
Priorities.
It's Jean.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she's still very, very pissed off at my grandfather for dying.
Oh.
Very pissed off.
Oh,
The nerve.
dare he? The audacity.
That is exactly what she says. How dare he leave me here?
Yep.
It's like, Grandma, he worked for CP Rail. He left you behind an awful lot. You had to pack the house and then go and meet him. He was a station master, so he would be moved from station to station throughout Canada. And
Toot toot, awfully
he would, yep, pretty much. He would come home from work.
See the station master for the little handful. By the way, I love to sing as well.
He would come home from work and he would look at my grandmother and go, "It's time again, Jean." And my grandmother, I'm sure, in her head went, "Oh, fuck." But she would never say it. Well, she does now because she's got no filter, none whatsoever. She's hilarious. And he'd go to his new job and she would pack up the house and pack up my aunt and my mother and start over in a new house.
I remembered where I was going with my grandmother's story.
See? There you go. Now it's gone again.
It was there. I swear. Now I got it. Okay, during school plays, my grandmother was one of the worst people to be in the audience, even though she loved us to death. But they never had, my school growing up didn't have a lot of money, so everything was done bare bones. We had one piano, there was no PA system, things like that. It was just tiny, tiny school. I was with the same students from kindergarten right through grade 8. Boy, was that awesome being the special one in that group. Anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, tons of fun. That's another story and another shrink's appointment for another day. But my grandmother, she would be sitting in the back. She would always sit in the back. And as soon as any of us, myself or my 3 sisters, would come out on stage and do our bit, all we could hear was, "Speak up, I can't hear you."
That's why she sat in the back.
Thanks, Granny.
Got
Total confidence booster right there.
Project to the back of the stadium.
Yep.
There you go.
That and a whack upside of the head if you used poor English in front of her.
Huh?
Oh, dear.
Oh, yeah, she was very much a stickler for proper English, so we all speak impeccable English. Which makes us unlike everybody else in Canada. And the U.S. Oh, yeah, I went there.
That's okay. We have this kind of rivalry going on with our American podcast friends.
Okay.
So, it's glad to have you aboard. Because they don't know how to spell.
Yeah.
They don't spell things right.
This is why I like the writing program I use. I use Scrivener. It's fantastic because it has built in. It has English US, English UK, English Canada.
Sweet.
We have our own dictionary.
Nice.
Awesome.
It makes me very happy.
Nobody else knows how to spell poutine.
I know. Like, what is that? It's spelled exactly as it frickin' sounds, people.
I know. Like, poutine. Wow.
Ooh.
It's like poutine.
Yeah. Poutine. It's funny listening to them to try and pronounce it.
Poutine.
Oh, speaking of which, I have to throw this out here because I know
for the enjoyment of poutine. Did you see that?
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah,
we did.
Moment of silence for poutine.
I can see it on the waveform of the recording and went, oh.
Yeah.
There's a whole 2 seconds of us looking at each other. So
Dave's going to have to write that in the write-up. Interview with Lallie Napier and a moment of silence.
Lallie.
But we are Lallie.
I'm not a fucking sucker. Yet.
Anymore.
No, I'm single right now.
Steph.
Yes.
We got to get out of here.
All right.
We're bumping up against time.
Go to bed. They have school in the morning.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
Yeah, it's like 20 to 10. Are there any other questions that you are supposed to be asking me, Script Master?
I don't know. I put the script away.
Awesome.
No, we covered it all. We did, actually. I think we did.
We covered a lot of things, and it's so far the world of myth. You guys have treated me so well, and I am so very grateful. It's wonderful to have a connection with my written word as well as just making new friends and having a positive interaction that way as well. I love it. You guys have made my day. And when I found out from Mike that my poem was going to be that he was actually going to put my poems in a couple of
you sent me three poems and
editions.
We were going to spread them out over.
Yes, you were going to spread them out over several editions.
Yep.
When I got that email, I had writer's block so horribly bad, and I had fudge brain going on. Fudge brain is a horrible, horrible disease for all authors. It happens. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It just completely screws with your head to the point where you can't put together a sentence, and you put the wrong word in, and you can't.
It's not good fudge. It's not good fudge. It's the runny, gloppy, soupy, messy, icky fudge.
Yes, it's horrible, nasty fudge. I say fudge because I have a child in the house. It's like shit for brains. It leaks out your ears. It's so bad. And I was suffering from that, and I was trying to write the last chapter of my book, the end game, and it's all exciting and stuff is happening. And then I got this email, and it's like, oh yeah, I do know how to write. I had forgotten. And then I hammered out another 10,000 words, and boom, it's done.
There you go.
Way to go, Mike!
That kind of interaction, that kind of encouragement, it's so much more than just publishing my stuff. It's acknowledging my skill. It's loving the imagery that I'm able to help you see. And the fact that you can see through my eyes and through my words is just beyond description. It's such a connection with other human beings, and that's what I feed off of. I love human beings. They're wonderful people.
They're fun to write and kill off, too.
Hells yeah.
And on that note,
that's a wonderful note.
Thank you, Lallie. Thank you very much for doing this podcast with Stephanie and I, and thank you for sending your work into the World of Myth magazine. And we always will welcome any contribution that you wish to send to us.
Wonderful. Yeah. Oh, yes. I have crap going back years that nobody would touch. So as long as I still think it's up to snuff, I'll send it to you.
We'll touch it all.
Oh. You'll touch it all, will you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike molests everything.
Oh, that's great.
Reads everything.
No
wonder I felt so good.
Yeah. Magic fingers. So, for this week at the World of Myth Bits podcast, this has been Mike.
And Stephanie.
Thank you again.
Lallie.
And Lallie, yes. And we will talk with you next week. Bye-bye.
The World of Myth Bits.